Very nice to be here in Cape Town. I guess some people would ask why a company focused on US and South American assets is in Cape Town, but it is, to my mind, the best place to meet our investor group, which is from Australia, Europe, and North America. So that's why we're here, and hopefully we have a good story that will interest you. If anyone has further questions following it, obviously come and meet us at our booth. So there we go, just American Lithium. It's one of the largest lithium developers in the Americas. You can see from the map here that we're focused in Nevada, outside the town of Tonopah, what we call our TLC claims, and also in Peru, where we have a large at-surface lithium deposit called Falchani, and also one of the world's largest undeveloped uranium projects with a very low OPEX. So we're excited about the projects. As I say, on a combined basis, you can see that the M&I resource that we have makes us one of the largest lithium players in the world. And we have a strong treasury of 55 million Canadian, a sustainable business model. When you're dealing with communities in Peru in particular, first and foremost, your social agreements are the most important piece of the pie before you can do any work. And we've, through our subsidiary Macusani Yellowcake, we've been operating in Peru since 2004. So a strong model and a team that encompasses the ability not only to raise capital and create value for shareholders, but a very strong technical team that has a history of taking unique lithium projects to battery grade and beyond. So we think we're well placed. You can see what's happened to us over the last year. Obviously, some of the peaks and troughs here coincide with what's been going on in the markets and the broader markets. Obviously, there's been a good run in the lithium space, but we've completed some pretty major milestones. For us, probably the largest milestone has been the acquisition of Plateau Energy, which brought in what we like to think is the three key assets. It brought in Falchani, Macusani, and as I mentioned, a very strong technical team. And the strength in the stock price has given us the currency to go out and create the geographic and geological diversity that we enjoy today. Very quickly looking at the cap table, market capitalization is roughly 700 million Canadian. Again, strong balance sheet, not just with the cash on hand, but over $70 million of in-the-money dilutives. Historically, the company started life as a retail story, but is very much starting the process of institutionalizing. Both our financings last year, which brought in $50 million plus, were institutional-led and supported by management and board. And we've now started to pick up some analyst coverage globally with VSA in London and Echelon and Roth in Canada and the US, and we are expecting 8 Capital and TD to follow soon. So again, it's becoming an institutional story, and with that, we're also in the process of uplisting the company to the NASDAQ. So very quickly on the projects, this is Nevada. This is our TLC project. You can see where the asset is. In a lot of ways, better to be lucky than good. We actually pretty much hit with our first drill hole. In Nevada, you can drill up to 5 acres of land. You can disturb up to 5 acres of land before you need to get a plan of operations approved. So we were able to focus our initial 34 holes in that core area and come out with a very large measured and indicated resource, which has really helped us drive the project ahead. So other milestones in Nevada, we are at the process in the process of finalizing our Maiden PEA in Nevada, and we are also undertaking a very large drill program at the moment. So at the same time, what's happening in Peru, you can see here, this is a map that highlights where our assets are in Peru. They're in the district of Puno in the south. And you can see this is the Falchani Lithium project. Again, large scale. We think when we acquired it that the resource auditors were very conservative, with most of the resource being in the indicated and inferred category. And we think with some drilling, which we're about to launch, that we will move the majority of those assets into M&I, and we will also extend the assets. So what really drove us I'll just go back. What really drove our interest in Falchani is it's a project that sits at surface. It's high grade. It's hosted in a pure form, and a hard rock asset that Lawrence and the team were able to move from discovery through PEA to battery grade in a 2-year period. So it's a real large quality asset. It also sits in the first quartile of the global cost curve. So we believe this can be a real major producer of battery grade lithium, focused again in Peru, but in a global context as well. So that's an overview of Falchani. As I mentioned, we weren't necessarily looking for it, but are very pleased with the optionality that Macusani gives us on the uranium side. Again, a large-scale resource that was put together over 15 years, consolidating assets that were previously owned by Cameco, assets that were drilled, and assets that were held within other companies. So it's a large package. It's the fifth largest undeveloped project on the planet on the uranium side. We think it's got the potential to be significantly larger still. And critically, if you look at the op costs, it's around $17 a pound. So that puts it right up there with, after Kazakhstan, probably one of the best OPEX stories on the planet, and with relatively low CapEx as well. The other piece here that has happened over the last couple of years is the team has built on work that Cameco did and has proved the ability to more than double the head grade, which again will improve the economics further. So our approach on, just head back here. Our approach on both Falchani and Macusani is to update the PEAs. I think you'll see the economics improve both from renewed pricing, but also from additional drilling that we're in the process of launching. And as I mentioned, right now within the company, we receive very little value for the uranium, and you will see us spin this out into its own vehicle and fund that vehicle separately over the next several months here. So with that, just looking at where we are against our peer group, you can see on an M&I basis, we are currently ranked third globally against the peer group. With the drilling we're doing, we believe that we'll certainly move into second place over the course of the next several months. But again, if you look at the EV to M&I side of things, we believe we're very undervalued compared to our peers. And that, I think, is borne out even more by this chart. From an asset base, we like to think that we have a similar asset base to Lithium Americas. Obviously, we're a couple of years behind in terms of the development cycle, but our job obviously is to close that gap from our market cap to where they are, and that's very much our focus. So in summary, you've got world-class scalable assets in two great drilling jurisdictions. Lots of milestones coming up. As I mentioned, we will be updating the PEA at TLC. We'll be launching our Maiden PEA at TLC. We'll be updating the Falchani PEA before moving that into feasibility by the year end. And we will be putting the uranium assets into their own vehicle, spinning them out, and then coming out with a PEA for that project as well. And last but not least, I think we have the team now through the acquisition of Plateau that provides us not only with the competency in the governance capital markets side, but a very, very strong technical team that, again, has proven the ability to take unique assets and drive them to battery-grade lithium production. So we're very excited about where we are and where the commodities are. And again, please come and see us if anyone has any follow-up questions. Many thanks.